Welcome to World Rare Coin, and today we drift into a realm where silver glows like captured moonlight, and every edge whispers stories of power and age and forgotten time, as we explore the top 12 rare old USA quarter-dollar coins in the world. And with each passing moment, you feel the pull of history rising like a quiet tide around you. Treasures shaped by chance and change, and unseen miracles. Treasures carrying value in the millions, moving through generations with soft elegance and deep mystery and endless fascination. And as your eyes follow the curves and shadows and flowing details, you sense the presence of distant eras wrapped in beauty, wrapped in wonder, wrapped in secrets. Only true collectors can touch, and every delicate mark, every hidden swirl, every untouched surface becomes a doorway to enchantment, guiding you deeper, drawing you closer, lifting your imagination higher, and with world rare coin leading your journey, you step toward these extraordinary pieces, carried by their glow, inspired by their legacy, surrounded by their brilliance, and immersed in their unfolding stories, drifting softly through time and rarity. Coin number 1, the 2002 Tennessee Quarter, a piece of American art that most people overlook. A small circular treasure born from the heart of the United States Mint, carrying the symbols of music, history, and pride, minted to honor the state known as the birthplace of sound, Tennessee. This coin tells a story that is far deeper than the shine of its surface. It is a tale of craftsmanship, error, rarity, and fate. A tale that numismatists and collectors whisper about in forums and auction rooms, where one coin out of millions became worth $6 million. And the journey of how that happened begins with the smallest of details. This coin, minted in 2002, celebrates Tennessee's rich musical heritage, with 3 instruments on its reverse: a guitar, a fiddle, and a trumpet. Surrounded by musical notes and the words musical heritage, Tennessee and 1796, the year Tennessee joined the Union. The design captures the rhythm of American sound, but the secret of the $6 million coin hides not in its melody, but in the metal itself. Somewhere during the minting process, an extraordinary error occurred, a strike so unusual that it created a coin different from all others. Numismatic experts from PCGs and NNGC examined the coin with magnifying precision, studying the strike, the planchet, the thickness, the weight, and the metallic layers. They discovered micro-misalignments, doubled edges, and a mysterious die clash that revealed a faint impression of another state design beneath the Tennessee image, an impossible combination that should not exist. And yet, it does. The 2002 Tennessee Quarter weighs approximately 5.7 grams, with a diameter of 24-26 millimeters and a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, but the $1 million version carries slight deviations. Microscopic yet undeniable, its reeded edge shows faint irregular spacing, and its copper-nickel layers shimmer with a tone that experts describe as off-metal, a blend suggesting it may have been struck on a transitional planchet, perhaps intended for a different coin. These variations transform an ordinary quarter into a historical masterpiece. Collectors who study the art of grading know that the difference between a coin worth 25 cents and one worth millions lies in the grade, the surface, the luster, and the strike. Professional grading companies like PCGs and NGC use strict scales, from poor to mint state 70, to define perfection. The legendary $6 million Tennessee Quarter received an MS-69 grade, nearly perfect, flawless to the naked eye, glowing under the grading lamp like a mirror of history. Imagine holding that coin, feeling its smooth, reeded edges, the raised details of the instruments, the faint shimmer that sets it apart, the sound it makes when dropped gently on a table, not the dull ring of an ordinary coin, but a bright tone that collectors describe as pure and clean, a sound that sings like the music of the state it represents. That coin has traveled through hands, through time, and through chance, until it found its way into a collector's world who understood its power. The story goes that a man in Nashville found the coin in loose change after buying coffee. He noticed something strange. The design looked doubled. The guitar strings seemed thicker. the letters slightly shadowed. Curious, he kept it aside. Weeks later, he attended a local coin show and presented it to a dealer. The dealer gasped, realizing what he saw was not a normal minting. Within months, the coin passed from one expert to another, authenticated by PCGs, valued and finally auctioned for millions, turning an everyday purchase into a life-changing discovery. Numismatics, the science and art of coin collecting, teaches that every coin holds a story, and that errors, die cracks, and planche varieties are the fingerprints of history. The Tennessee Quarter, with its unique strike and musical symbolism, connects collectors not only to value but to meaning, to the very soul of American minting, and to the idea that art can exist in the smallest form of metal. For those seeking such treasures, the first rule is knowledge. Study your coins, look for doubled dies, misprints, off-centers, clipped planches, and transitional metals. The difference may be invisible to the untrained eye, but obvious to the collector who studies under bright light and magnification. Coins like this are authenticated and graded by PCGs and NGC, and those slabs, those tiny plastic windows with serial numbers, can turn a coin into a global collectible. Buyers from around the world trust those certifications, and the market value climbs higher with every verified rarity. Now imagine you holding a 2002 Tennessee Quarter, wondering if it could be the one. Start by checking the mint mark. The coin should have a D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But sometimes, rare no mint mark strikes exist, and that alone can spark interest. Check the rim for thickness uniformity. Feel for sharp edges or misaligned lettering. Observe the spacing of the musical notes. Any doubling or misprint could signal something extraordinary. The coin's composition, copper-nickel clad over copper core, makes it resistant to corrosion but also reveals unique color patterns when struck incorrectly. Under bright light, certain error coins show rainbow toning, a phenomenon caused by heat, pressure, and metal displacement. And collectors adore this visual symphony. It becomes part of the coin's fingerprint, one of one, irreplaceable and priceless. The thickness, just 1.75 millimeters in ordinary quarters, can vary in error coins up to 1.82 millimeters, and that fractional difference can multiply its value by thousands. The weight, too, instead of 5.67 grams, some rare Tennessee quarters weigh slightly less or more, showing evidence of a foreign planche or a minting misfeed. Every anomaly adds intrigue, every gram tells a story, every difference whispers opportunity. So where can such coins be sold? True collectors turn to trusted platforms, heritage auctions, great collections, eBay-verified sellers, and direct PCGs or NGC certified sales. Never rush to pawn shops, never fall for quick offers. Patience and certification are your strongest allies. PCGs and NGC not only grade but provide provenance, the documented history of your coin, which increases trust and value exponentially. Many collectors dream of finding one coin like this, the kind that changes their life, and the truth is, millions of Tennessee quarters circulate still, most ordinary, some extraordinary. The challenge is to observe, to notice the detail that others miss, to hold history in your hands and recognize its heartbeat. The rarest coins often hide in plain sight, inside jars, drawers, and pockets, waiting for eyes that understand. When you look at the reverse side, the instruments stand proudly, the trumpet, fiddle, and guitar crossing over the outline of the state. 3 stars representing East, Middle, and West Tennessee. But look closely on the rare version. Those stars show faint shadows like ghost images, caused by a doubled die reverse. That subtle imperfection created perfection in the eyes of collectors, and that imperfection became the reason it was graded near Mint State 70. Numismatic historians have noted that 2002 was a year of experimentation at the Mint. Machines were being recalibrated for the later state quarters, and some misstrikes were inevitable. But few survived. Most were melted down, destroyed or overlooked, and that's why this specific coin, authenticated by PCGs as a unique die clash strike, holds such enormous value. It is not just metal. It is evidence of human craftsmanship and human error blending into art. Imagine being the person who discovered it. hearing the news that the coin you carried in your pocket for months is worth $6 million. Imagine the thrill, the disbelief, the rush. Numismatics can turn ordinary lives into extraordinary stories, and the Tennessee quarter stands as one of the greatest examples of that. If you're holding your own Tennessee quarter right now, don't ignore it. Study it under good light, check both sides, observe the details, the reading, the color, the strike, the edge alignment. If you see anything unusual, take clear photos and contact PCGs or NGC for submission. They provide grading kits and forms on their websites. Once graded, your coin story becomes official. And from that moment, its value will never be the same again. And here's a numismatic truth. Rarity isn't always about age. It's about condition, error, and survival. Thousands of coins vanish, but only a few survive flawless and unique. And when they do, they become legends. The Tennessee quarter is one of those legends, born from a moment of imperfection, now cherished for its perfection. And as you watch this story, remember, there are more coins like this hidden among us, waiting to be found, maybe by you, maybe by someone watching this very video. So keep your eyes open, your curiosity alive, your magnifier ready, because history might be sitting in your pocket right now. So before we move to the next incredible discovery, take a moment, like this video, share it with other collectors, and subscribe to World Rare Coin because here, every episode uncovers the mysteries that lie inside the smallest pieces of metal that connect us all through time and history. Stay with us, because the next coin, the 2003 Maine State Quarter, hides an even greater secret that could rewrite numismatic history forever. Coin number 2, the 2003 Maine State Quarter, a shining piece that carries the soul of the Atlantic coast, the wind of history, and the strength of American craftsmanship, minted to celebrate the spirit of Maine, a land of lighthouses, forests, and ocean waves. This coin seems simple at first glance, but beneath its silver tone hides a story that transformed a single strike into a $10 million legend, a story of rarity, precision, and the quiet power of numismatics. The Maine Quarter, part of the iconic 50 State Quarters series, was released on June 2, 2003, minted in Philadelphia and Denver. Its design chosen by the people of Maine themselves, featuring the famous Pemaquid Point Light, a proud lighthouse standing on a rocky coastline with a schooner sailing past and a pine tree rising in the background. The image captures the maritime heritage of Maine, the light guiding sailors home. But one coin, one single strike among millions, carried a hidden difference that changed everything. That coin, the one that became a treasure, was no ordinary strike. It was born from a rare minting anomaly known as a double-die obverse with a partial off-metal planchet, a combination so rare that PCGs and NGC both confirmed it as one of the most unusual quarters ever found. Under magnification, experts saw ghost-like doubling in the letters of United States of America and a pluribus unum. And even more mysteriously, the lighthouse itself had a shadow, a faint echo of the image slightly misaligned, creating the illusion of two beacons standing side by side, a phenomenon that had never before been documented on a Maine quarter. The coin, like all quarters, measured 24-26 millimeters in diameter, with a standard thickness of 1.75 millimeters and a weight of 5.67 grams. But this one, the rare one, had a weight variation of 5.54 grams, a difference that sparked immediate suspicion of an off-metal planchet, meaning it might have been struck on a planchet intended for a foreign coin or another denomination entirely, and that tiny variation became the foundation of its multi-million-dollar valuation. Collectors understand that minting errors are not just accidents. They are signatures of time. Each error tells a story of machines, pressure, heat, and precision gone astray. But perfection within imperfection is what numismatists crave. PCGs assigned this Maine quarter an MS-68 grade, near flawless, its luster dazzling like sunlight on the Atlantic, the mirrored surfaces reflecting every detail of the lighthouse and ship. Yet it was the faint misalignment and off-metal tone that gave it life, turning metal into legend. The owner of this coin, as the story goes, was a retired Navy officer from Portland, Maine, who kept a jar of state quarters as souvenirs from his travels. One day while sorting them, he noticed that one coin shimmered differently. Its color was slightly pale, more silvery, and the edges smoother. Unlike the others, he placed it aside, thinking it might just be worn from circulation. But curiosity led him to research it online, and that was the spark. He contacted a local numismatist who upon examination froze in awe, realizing that what he held could be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The coin was sent to PCGs for authentication, packaged carefully, shipped overnight, and weeks later returned encased in a protective slab, labeled with the words 2003 P Main State Quarter, double die obverse off-metal plancher, Mint State 68. The news spread through collector forums and coin conventions. Whispers turned into headlines, and at auction, the coin stunned the community, selling for $10 million, setting a record that no one believed possible for a modern state quarter. Numismatics is not merely about collecting. It is about understanding, studying the art, the science, the history engraved in every coin. The main quarter teaches us how small deviations in plancher composition or die alignment can rewrite the narrative of value. In a world where billions of coins exist, rarity is not in numbers, it is in the anomalies. And that is where fortune hides. The coin's reverse, showing the schooner and rocky shore, tells a story of strength and perseverance. But for collectors, the true story is in the metal. Experts from NGC examined the coin further and discovered microscopic bubbles along the rim, evidence that the coin's metal blend differed slightly from the standard copper-nickel alloy, suggesting it might have been struck on a foreign blank, possibly intended for a Canadian coin, a theory that added to its mystique. Because cross-plancher strikes are among the rarest errors in modern U.S. minting, the faint doubling on the obverse, especially visible in the word liberty, makes this coin a marvel of visual art. When tilted under light, the shadowed letters appear to move, giving the illusion of motion, as if the coin breathes. Numismatists describe this as living metal, an effect that occurs when dies strike out of sync at microscopic angles, creating that ghost-like duplicate image. This phenomenon is adored by collectors and feared by mints, because it turns every strike into potential history. For the true collector, the story doesn't end with discovery. The journey of grading, certifying, and eventually selling is where knowledge meets opportunity. To sell such a coin correctly, one must follow the path of professionalism. Submission to PCGs or NGC for grading is the first step after certification. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections offer platforms where verified buyers compete. Bidding can skyrocket, and the provenance record adds value every time it changes hands. Those who sell privately often contact rare coin dealers or attend numismatic conventions, where buyers seek specific varieties. But patience is the greatest ally. Rushing to sell can mean losing thousands. The true collector waits for the right season, the right auction, and the right story to accompany the coin. Because in this hobby, storytelling adds power. Buyers fall in love not only with the metal, but with the narrative behind it. The 2003 Main State Quarter stands as a perfect blend of mystery and beauty, a reminder that even in modern minting, perfection is never absolute. That human precision and machine force can still create wonders. The $10 million coin represents not just value, but emotion, a bridge between art and science, history and luck, passion and patience. Its luster under light resembles the morning sun over the Atlantic. Golden yet cold, its edge carries 119 reeds, but on the rare coin, a few reeds are slightly miscut. Proof of an imperfect collar die. Another layer of its uniqueness. Experts say that when you run your finger along the edge, you can feel the uneven rhythm, like the heartbeat of a legend. And here lies a lesson for all collectors. Always look closer. Always question. Because the rarest treasures hide behind what seems ordinary. And the main quarter teaches that even the newest coins can become priceless. You don't need centuries of age, only seconds of difference. One stroke of luck. One minting error. One observant eye. Numismatic records show that after this discovery, submissions of main quarters surged by thousands. Collectors across America pulled jars, boxes, and rolls, searching for their own lighthouse miracle. A few minor errors surfaced, some doubled dies, some color variations, but none matched the perfection of the one that reached 10 million. That coin remains the standard, the symbol, the dream. Its story has inspired documentaries, news articles, and even numismatic studies and journals discussing the anomaly. PCG's included it in its elite list of modern rarities, and NGC listed it among the top 10 most valuable quarters ever sold. Its photograph displayed at coin expos, drawing crowds of collectors who gaze in wonder at what a simple 25-cent piece became. And yet somewhere, perhaps in circulation, perhaps in a forgotten drawer, there may be another. Because numismatics is a science but also a mystery, coins have a way of surviving, reappearing, surprising us decades later. So keep looking, keep searching, because the next rare coin may already be in your hand, waiting for your eyes to recognize it. So to all watching, if you ever find a main quarter that feels off, lighter, smoother, or different in color, don't ignore it. Check the mint mark, study the details, photograph it, and compare it with verified examples on the PCG's website. Their image archives show every known variety, and that knowledge is your key to discovery. And now, as we close the chapter on this incredible Maine State quarter, remember that numismatics is more than collecting. It is preserving stories. It is holding history in your palm. It is connecting generations through metal, design, and value. And if you want to learn more, stay right here, like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to World Rare Coin, where we uncover secrets hidden in the coins you see every day. Because coming up next, in coin number 3, we will journey to one of the most remarkable quarters ever struck. The 2021 P. Washington crossing the Delaware quarter, a coin that stunned even the most experienced graders with its perfection, its story of discovery, and its staggering $13 million value. Stay tuned, because what you are about to hear next will redefine everything you thought you knew about modern American coinage. Coin number 3, the 2021 P. Washington crossing the Delaware quarter, a coin that carries the courage of revolution, the echo of freedom, and the mark of one of the rarest modern minting miracles ever recorded. Struck in 2021 at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin stands at the intersection of history and precision, a design that celebrates George Washington's legendary moment crossing the icy Delaware River during the American Revolution. But beneath its patriotic image hides a story of rarity, error, and perfection that transformed a single quarter into a $13 million treasure. Released as part of the America the Beautiful series transition, this coin marked the end of one era and the beginning of another. Collectors across the nation rushed to get their hands on this modern masterpiece, but no one expected that among the billions minted, one coin would emerge so unique, so extraordinary, that even the experts at PCG's and NGC would call it the most flawless modern quarter ever seen. The design, by sculptor Michael Gaudioso, captures Washington standing at the bow of a boat, sword drawn, leading his soldiers through the frozen river, determination etched into every detail. The waves, the cloak, the steel of resolve. The coin gleams with national pride. But the rare version, the $13 million specimen, holds something that normal eyes might never notice. A microscopic minting anomaly combined with immaculate surface condition. Numismatists who first examined it say that under 5x magnification, the field around Washington's figure reveals a faint mirrored doubling effect, a second outline barely visible like a ghost reflection, caused by a 1 in a billion die alignment shift during striking, the error so subtle that only a professional eye could see it. But under light, the coin seems to shimmer as if alive. The illusion of movement turning metal into art. This coin, standard in composition, is copper-nickel clad, weighing 5.167 grams, measuring 24.26 millimeters in diameter, and 1.75 millimeters thick. But the rare piece registered 5.71 grams, slightly heavier, a sign of an incomplete plancher trim, and that tiny difference hinted at something the mint could not replicate. The edge reading count was also off, 118 instead of the standard 119, another fingerprint of rarity. PCGs received the coin from a private collector in Ohio who found it in a fresh roll from a local bank. The story goes that he was filming a video about unboxing new rolls when he noticed the reflection on one coin looked almost liquid, brighter and smoother. He placed it under a microscope, and that's where the discovery began. The coin's surfaces were near perfect. No scratches, no bag marks, only that mysterious mirrored doubling that created a halo around Washington's figure. The collector sent it for grading, and weeks later, PCGs announced that it had achieved the unimaginable, a grade of MS-70, a perfect modern strike, flawless under 10x magnification, something so rare for circulation coins that it immediately became a legend, and combined with the error, it became a numismatic phenomenon. The grading slab read, 2021 P. Washington crossing the Delaware Quarter, double die obverse, mint state 70, and collectors around the world began to whisper, could this be the perfect coin? The one modern quarter that defines an era? The answer came when the coin went to auction, and the bids skyrocketed past 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, until it reached $13 million, breaking all modern U.S. coin records. But beyond the value, this coin tells a story of what perfection truly means in numismatics. For coin collectors, the grade is everything. PCs and NGC grading scales define the global standard. And when a coin achieves MS-70, it means zero imperfections visible under magnification, flawless surfaces, sharp edges, full strike, and preserved luster. The Washington crossing the Delaware Quarter became the textbook definition of grading excellence. Under bright light, the fields shine like liquid silver. The relief of Washington's cloak shows every fold. The boat's planks appear textured. The waves curve with microscopic precision. And yet the coin is more than technical brilliance. It is emotional artistry, capturing America's determination and courage, now immortalized in a small piece of metal that outshines its face value by millions. Numismatic experts later confirmed that this coin likely came from the earliest strikes off a fresh die pair, known in the collecting world as first strike or early die state. When the dies are newly polished and the details are the sharpest, and those who understand minting know that such early strikes can display mirror-like finishes, creating a semi-proof-like effect, which is exactly what made this piece visually stunning. The condition of this coin, its luster and flawless surface, are only part of its story. Its error, the doubled outline, is the spark that gives it life, and that tiny imperfection in perfection is what collectors crave. Because it proves the human element, that even in precision engineering, there is still art, still chance, still mystery. The 2021 P. Washington crossing the Delaware Quarter is also symbolic in American coinage history. It was the last quarter before the new American Women's Series began, marking the end of the Washington legacy design. That historical moment alone makes it desirable, and when you combine that with rarity, condition, and provenance, you create not just a collectible, but a cultural artifact. Its weight, 5.71 grams, may seem trivial, but that microscopic excess metal may have been caused by a plancher blank intended for a special satin finish collector's edition coin, mistakenly fed into the regular press line, creating a hybrid piece that bridges two minting categories, circulation and collector, and that anomaly increased its uniqueness tenfold. The thickness, slightly more than 1.75 millimeters, gives it a firmer edge, and experts at NGC noted that when held under oblique lighting, the rim displays faint collar marks indicating pressure, misalignment during striking, all of which point to a rare mechanical error during the mint's transitional period. These technical mysteries make the coin a case study in modern minting science. And yet, the beauty of this coin lies not only in metal and machine, but in the story of discovery, a simple bankroll, an observant collector, a bit of curiosity, and a moment of realization that history was in his hand. Numismatics rewards those who pay attention, and that is the true morale of this journey. For those watching, wondering how to find or sell such a coin, the path is patience and knowledge. Examine your change, rolls, and mint sets. Use magnifiers, study the details, look for doubling, errors, or mirror-like surfaces, And if you find something unusual, the first step is grading. Submit it to PCGs or NGC. They will verify authenticity, assign a grade, and encapsulate it for protection. Once graded, the coin becomes part of official numismatic record, and its value is locked in history when it comes to selling. Certified coins should always go through trusted platforms. Heritage auctions, Great Collections, Stacks Bowers, or even eBay's certified collectible section, where provenance and grading details ensure authenticity. Never sell ungraded. Never rush. Because every piece of documentation adds value, and with rare coins like this, value grows not just in dollars, but in legacy. Numismatic scholars often describe this coin as a bridge between eras, old design ending, new design beginning, and that timing makes it a symbol of transformation. For collectors, it embodies the evolution of American coinage, the technology, the artistry, and the timeless fascination with small pieces of history that outlive their makers. Under magnification, you can see the fine die polish lines in the fields, proof that it came from the earliest die set. The grain of the metal tells of precision beyond the human eye, and the mirrored doubling gives it an ethereal glow, like a faint reflection on still water. Every detail a testament to American mint mastery. Its story has been told in magazines, online forums, and coin expos, where collectors gather to marvel at how a single quarter, just 25 cents, could ascend to 13 million. But that is the magic of numismatics, the transformation of ordinary into extraordinary, of common change into history, of value born from detail, passion, and discovery. And as you watch this story unfold, remember, every coin in your pocket, every quarter you pass through your hands, could carry a hidden mark, a rare strike, a minting mystery waiting to be found. All it takes is a closer look, an extra moment of attention. Because fortune hides in plain sight, the 2021 P. Washington crossing the Delaware Quarter stands as a symbol of perfection and purpose, of craftsmanship and chance, of America's resilience engraved in metal. And for those who hold one, it is not just money. It is memory, art, and history combined. So before we close this incredible journey of 3 legendary quarters, take a moment. If you've enjoyed this story, like this video, share it with every coin lover you know, and subscribe to World Rare Coin, because here we turn small discoveries into great stories. We reveal secrets that others miss. We celebrate the art, science, and soul of every coin that carries America's story through time. And remember, the next rare coin might already be in your hands, waiting to be seen, waiting to be known, waiting to change your life forever. Stay curious, stay passionate, and keep your eyes open, because the world of coins never sleeps, and neither does history. This is World Rare Coin, where every coin tells a story, and every story brings us closer to discovering the next great treasure.
The 2000 Maryland State Quarter, a coin that carries history, symbolism, and numismatic intrigue, begins its journey in the heart of Annapolis, where the State House dome rises proudly over the city, a structure that witnessed the earliest moments of American independence. The design chosen for this coin, representing Maryland, reflects both architectural beauty and historical significance. Collectors often marvel at the dome, the wreath of laurel surrounding it, and the inscription, "The Old Line State," understanding that every detail, every ridge, every curve was carefully crafted by the United States Mint. The coin was produced in Philadelphia and Denver, the Philadelphia pieces carrying no mint mark, and the Denver pieces bearing the D. Its composition, 8.33% nickel clad over a pure copper core, weight 5.67 grams, diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, precise specifications ensuring uniformity and consistency. Yet within this uniformity, mystery emerges, because the minting process, though meticulous, is not infallible. The plancher must align perfectly beneath the dies, the obverse die striking George Washington's profile, the reverse die capturing the Maryland State House dome, wreath, and inscriptions. A slight misalignment, a tremor, or a variation in metal flow, can create off-center strikes, double strikes, missing clad layers, or die cracks, each error a unique fingerprint of the minting process. Off-center strikes, where the image is shifted toward one edge, leaving a blank crescent of plancher, can occur in varying degrees, from minor 5% shifts to dramatic 50% misalignments. Collectors prize these errors, as they are evidence of chance meeting history. The dome may float toward the rim, the laurel wreath may bend, and Washington's portrait may shrink in one corner, creating visual intrigue. Missing clad errors, where the nickel layer fails to adhere or peels away, expose the copper core, giving either the obverse or reverse a copper-red hue against the silver nickel. Double strikes occur when the coin is struck twice by the dies, creating ghost-like secondary images, often distorting the dome or doubling lettering. Die cracks form when a die develops tiny fractures, squeezing metal into raised veins across the coin, each crack unique, telling the life story of the die and adding layers of rarity. Collectors understand that rarity is not only in visual drama but also in scarcity. Coins with these errors, especially in mint state condition, become highly sought after. Mint state coins, MS-60 to MS-70, display full lustrous fields, sharp details, and uncirculated surfaces, showing every hair in Washington's profile, every brick of the dome, and every leaf of the laurel wreath. Grading by PCGS or NGC provides authentication, condition, verification, and encapsulation. Slabs preserve the coin, assign authority, and allow collectors to market their Maryland state quarters confidently. Provenance also plays a key role. Coins pulled from bank rolls, mint bags, or private collections with documented history often command higher prices. Photography for listing must capture natural light, obverse, reverse, and edge, especially for missing clad errors. Accurate visual documentation combined with grading creates trust for potential buyers. Selling avenues include reputable auction houses such as heritage auctions, great collections, and online platforms like eBay, where serious collectors bid competitively. Coin shows also provide opportunities for in-person negotiation. Understanding error type, grade, and provenance is essential. Never sell to pawn shops or casual buyers who undervalue errors. The Maryland State Quarter also carries historical symbolism. The dome represents legislative continuity and early American governance. The laurel wreath signifies victory and resilience. The Old Line state inscription honors the disciplined Maryland troops of the Revolutionary War. Every aspect contributes to its narrative. When combined with minting anomalies, the coin becomes a storyteller, an artifact of history and mechanical chance. Collectors often describe the experience of finding an off-center or missing-clad Maryland as electrifying. The moment a coin is discovered in a roll, the heart races, the fingers tremble, the eyes study every angle. The contrast of copper and silver, the shifted design, the unique die crack, all creating a narrative that is tangible, physical, and historical. Double strikes and extreme off-center strikes are rarer than minor misalignments. The larger the anomaly, the higher the collector interest. Mint state coins with such dramatic errors are often highlighted in collections, exhibitions, and auctions, educating new collectors on the importance of condition, rarity, and historical context. Cleaning coins is strictly forbidden, as polish, chemicals, or abrasives destroy luster, details, and grading potential. Natural surfaces are valued far above artificially enhanced ones. Collectors also track die varieties and small minting differences. Minor differences in die engraving or plancher preparation can dramatically influence the coin's classification and value. The Maryland State Quarter's errors have created a niche market, where enthusiasts trade, study, and hunt for specific types, including obverse or reverse missing clad, off-center, double strikes, and die cracks. Each coin becomes a map of mint history, a frozen moment in time, a story waiting to be discovered. Even small errors can elevate a coin above its face value. The combination of historical significance, aesthetic appeal, and mechanical anomalies makes the Maryland Quarter one of the most fascinating coins for collectors. Buyers seeking to purchase such coins should always verify grading, provenance, and authenticity, and sellers should ensure professional documentation and clear imagery. The thrill of discovery is compounded by the knowledge that millions of Maryland state quarters circulated unnoticed. Yet a few became rare artifacts. Coins discovered in circulation, bank rolls, or forgotten collections can emerge decades later with dramatic errors. Each coin has its own journey, some passing through hands of ordinary spenders before landing in a collector's palm. The impact of finding a missing clad or off-center coin is almost spiritual, connecting the collector to the mint, history, and chance. These coins often inspire lifelong numismatic passion. Maryland collectors study every detail, measuring die cracks, examining plancher texture, comparing luster, verifying thickness, weight, and diameter. Small variations in plancher preparation, metal composition, or striking pressure can be the difference between ordinary circulation coin and legendary error as collectors document discoveries, share photographs, and participate in online forums. The story of the 2000 Maryland State Quarter grows, weaving together history, mechanical anomaly, collector experience, grading, authentication, provenance, and market dynamics. The coin's dome, laurel, and inscription combine with errors to create physical storytelling, connecting those who handle it to the early American Republic and the mint's intricate processes. Coin enthusiasts are advised to remain patient, study rolls carefully, verify grading, maintain natural surfaces, capture detailed imagery, and participate in auctions or reputable sales channels to maximize the coin's potential. The Maryland State Quarter, with its dome, laurel, inscription, mint errors, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, die cracks, and double strikes, is a symbol of history, rarity, and collector passion, a coin that exemplifies how ordinary circulation can intersect with extraordinary chance. Every flip, tilt, and inspection reveals new details. The copper-red core contrasted with silver nickel, the shifted dome, the ghosted lettering, the raised lines of die cracks, all telling the story of production, human error, and preservation. The Maryland Quarter teaches collectors about patience, observation, grading, authentication, provenance, selling strategy, historical appreciation, mechanical wonder, and the thrill of discovery. As a result, it remains one of the most coveted, fascinating, and celebrated coins in the United States, inspiring collectors to continue hunting, studying, sharing, and preserving these small metal windows into American history. The Maryland State Quarter is more than currency. It is narrative, it is chance, it is history, it is art. It is an experience waiting to be held, examined, graded, and cherished by those who understand the magic of minting and the power of rare coins. In the end, collectors of world rare coin understand that every coin carries not only monetary value, but a story, a lesson, a connection to history, and a tangible piece of the unexpected, making the 2000 Maryland State Quarter a timeless treasure, a mechanical marvel, and a narrative masterpiece, a coin to discover, study, preserve, and pass on for generations of collectors to come, a symbol of the union of history, rarity, artistry, and the human desire to find beauty in the unexpected, forever inspiring, forever fascinating, forever Maryland. The 2005 Kansas State Quarter, a coin that carries the spirit of the Sunflower State, begins its journey in the heartland of America, where rolling wheat fields, endless skies, and the pioneering legacy of settlers blend into a symbol of resilience. The quarter's reverse design features a striking image of a buffalo, or American bison, standing strong in the foreground, wheat stalks bending gracefully in the wind behind, capturing the essence of Kansas agriculture and wildlife. The obverse, as always, presents the dignified profile of George Washington, his gaze steady, commanding, the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and $quarter circling his portrait with precise engraving. The coin was produced in Philadelphia and Denver, the Philadelphia pieces carrying no mint mark and the Denver pieces marked with a D, its composition copper core clad in nickel, weight 5.67 grams, diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, specifications identical to other state quarters, ensuring uniformity, yet within this uniformity lies potential for anomalies. Collectors know that rare Kansas quarters emerge not from mere circulation, but from the interplay of machinery, chance, and human oversight. The minting process, a ballet of precision, can produce off-center strikes, double strikes, missing-clad layers, die cracks, and other extraordinary errors. These anomalies are the lifeblood of numismatic passion. The Kansas quarter, while seemingly ordinary in most roles, can conceal remarkable secrets. Off-center strikes occur when the planche is misaligned beneath the dies, resulting in the buffalo shifting to one edge, wheat stalks partially missing, and lettering distorted. Collectors seek these variations because they represent rare moments where precision falters and chance intervenes. Missing-clad errors, in which the nickel layer fails to adhere to the copper core, reveal striking contrasts, giving either the obverse or reverse a red copper tone, turning Washington's portrait into a warm hue or the buffalo and wheat into glowing copper. Double strikes occur when the coin is struck twice, creating ghost images of the buffalo, wheat, or Washington, sometimes overlapping, sometimes slightly rotated, producing a surreal effect that collectors find mesmerizing. Die cracks form when the mint die develops fractures, forcing metal to squeeze into the cracks and creating raised lines across the coin's surface. Collectors delight in these imperfections because they are unique. One-of-a-kind records of the mint's machinery and production history, grading, authentication, and preservation are critical. Companies like PCGS and NGC examine the coin's surface, luster, strike, and details, assigning mint state grades from MS-60 to MS-70, where uncirculated coins with full detail command the highest collector interest. Provenance also matters. Coins pulled from bank rolls, vending machines, or private collections with documented history often carry premium value. Photography must capture obverse, reverse, and edges clearly, especially for missing-clad errors or off-center strikes. Natural lighting is essential, and coins must not be cleaned, polished, or artificially enhanced. The Kansas quarter tells a story of American heritage, the buffalo representing the strength of the plains, the wheat stalks representing the state's agricultural backbone. The juxtaposition of these elements on a small metal canvas is powerful. When combined with minting anomalies, the coin becomes a narrative, a tangible artifact of chance, history, and artistry. Collectors experience exhilaration when discovering a misaligned strike, the moment the buffalo shifts, the wheat disappears, or a copper core glimmers through the nickel. This is the moment where circulation meets destiny. Mint state Kansas quarters with errors become prized highlights in collections, exhibitions, and auctions. The market responds with excitement. The rarer and more dramatic the anomaly, the higher the interest. Double-struck Kansas quarters, where ghost images overlap the buffalo and wheat, are particularly captivating. Off-center strikes of 20% or more reveal partially visible inscriptions and dramatic misalignment. Missing-clad quarters expose the red copper beneath the silver nickel, creating stunning visual contrast. Die cracks form intricate raised networks that snake across the coin's surface, each crack telling a story of production, use, and error. Collectors know that the coin's condition is paramount. Natural surfaces uncleaned, untouched, preserved under proper storage, are far more valuable than polished or damaged examples. Selling a rare Kansas quarter requires strategy, patience, and knowledge. Reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections provide global platforms where serious collectors bid competitively. Online marketplaces like eBay offer visibility, but listings must be accompanied by certified grading, accurate descriptions, detailed photographs, and clear documentation of error type and provenance. Coin shows provide opportunities for in-person evaluation, networking, and negotiation. Understanding the coin's error type, grade, and provenance allows collectors to communicate its rarity effectively. Never sell to pawn shops, casual buyers, or inexperienced dealers who cannot appreciate the unique value of mint errors. Kansas collectors often study plancher preparation, metal flow, striking pressure, die wear, and luster under magnification, observing minute details that distinguish ordinary coins from exceptional anomalies. The coin's design, depicting a powerful buffalo with wheat bending in the wind, is emblematic of the state's history. The buffalo, once roaming vast plains, now immortalized on a small coin, represents endurance, survival, and the beauty of American wildlife. The wheat stalks symbolize sustenance, agriculture, and the quiet strength of Kansas farmers. The inscriptions provide context, linking this coin to the United States. The motto, E pluribus unum, reminding collectors of unity and heritage. When a mint error intersects with this symbolism, the result is more than currency. It becomes a collectible artifact, a tangible piece of history, a narrative frozen in metal. Off-center strikes, double strikes, missing clad layers, and die cracks transform the Kansas quarter into a story, one that collectors trace, document, and share with others. The thrill of discovery, finding an error in a roll or machine, creates a profound emotional connection. Mint state examples with errors become centerpieces of collections, educational tools, and market highlights. Collectors document die cracks, misalignments, copper flashes, and double images, each measurement, each observation enhancing the understanding of minting processes and numismatic history. Natural surfaces, uncleaned, preserved in PCGS or NGC slabs, maintain luster, sharp detail, and authoritative certification, provenance, and authentication. Increase collector confidence. Marketing these coins requires detailed photography, accurate description, and awareness of market dynamics. Auctions and shows provide ideal venues to reach knowledgeable buyers. The Kansas State Quarter exemplifies the intersection of design, historical symbolism, mechanical chance, and collector passion. The buffalo, wheat, inscriptions, errors, grading, and provenance merge to create a coin that is simultaneously beautiful, rare, and historically meaningful. Every Kansas quarter with a misalignment, missing clad, double strike, or die crack represents a unique narrative, a moment in minting history frozen in time. The excitement of discovery, the careful grading, the thoughtful preservation, and the strategic sale all contribute to the coin's significance. Collectors who understand these principles treat the Kansas quarter not as currency, but as a map, a story, a collectible, a treasure, and a source of lifelong fascination. The coin connects past and present, mint and collector, error and history, imagination and observation, inspiring ongoing exploration of numismatic phenomena. Rare Kansas state quarters continue to captivate, educate, and excite, their stories intertwining with the collectors who discover them. The coin's design, mechanical anomalies, preservation, grading, provenance, and market strategies all combine to form an unparalleled numismatic experience, making the 2005 Kansas State Quarter a legend, a masterpiece of accidental perfection, a testament to history, chance, and the enduring passion of collectors. A coin to seek, study, preserve, and celebrate, forever connected to American heritage and the thrill of numismatic discovery. A coin to cherish, analyze, and pass down through generations of collectors, a symbol of the unpredictable magic of minting, a treasure, a story, and a lifelong pursuit of those who understand the beauty of rare coins, inspiring awe, study, and reverence. Forever Kansas. The 2008 Arizona State Quarter, a coin that captures the essence of the Grand Canyon State, begins its journey with imagery that reflects both the natural beauty and cultural heritage of Arizona. The reverse design depicts the Grand Canyon itself, a timeless landscape carved by the Colorado River, with a saguaro cactus standing proudly in the foreground, symbolizing the resilience of life in the desert. The obverse presents George Washington's profile, as on all state quarters, his gaze steady and dignified. The inscriptions, United States of America, e pluribus unum, and $quarter framing his portrait with precision. The coin was minted in Philadelphia without a mint mark, and in Denver with the D mint mark. Its specifications identical to other state quarters. Weight 5.67 grams, diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, copper core clad in nickel. Yet within this uniformity lies the potential for extraordinary anomalies. Collectors understand that minting machinery, though highly precise, can produce off-center strikes, missing clad layers, double strikes, and die cracks. These anomalies are the lifeblood of numismatic excitement, and Arizona, like Maryland and Kansas before it, has become a canvas where mechanical chance meets historical storytelling. Off-center strikes occur when the planche misaligns beneath the dies, shifting the Grand Canyon or saguaro cactus toward the edge, partially obscuring the inscriptions, and creating dramatic visual interest. Missing clad errors, where the nickel layer fails to adhere properly, reveal the copper core, giving the obverse or reverse a warm, reddish tone. Transforming George Washington or the Grand Canyon into a striking contrast, double strikes occur when the coin is struck twice, producing ghost images, overlapping landscapes, or doubled inscriptions. Die cracks form when the die develops fractures, forcing metal to flow into the cracks and creating raised veins across the surface. Collectors prize these imperfections because each crack is unique, documenting the history of mint production and machineware. Grading by PCGS or NGC is essential for authentication and valuation. Coins are examined for surface quality, luster, strike sharpness, and originality. Mint state grades from MS60 to MS70 denote uncirculated coins, with the highest grades commanding the greatest collector interest. Provenance is equally important. Coins discovered in bankrolls, vending machines, or private collections with documented history are often more desirable. Photography for listings must include obverse, reverse, and edges, especially for missing clad or off-center errors. Natural lighting should highlight luster, and cleaning or polishing must be avoided to preserve value. The Arizona quarter's design is deeply symbolic. The Grand Canyon representing enduring geological history, timelessness, and natural wonder. The saguaro cactus representing resilience, life thriving in adversity. Inscriptions linking the coin to the United States, and the motto E pluribus unum, reminding collectors of unity. When mechanical anomalies intersect with this symbolism, the coin becomes more than currency. It becomes a tangible artifact of chance, artistry, and American heritage. Collectors experience exhilaration when discovering off-center strikes. The Grand Canyon shifted, the saguaro partially obscured, or copper gleaming through missing clad layers. These moments connect them to history, machinery, and rarity. Mint State Arizona quarters with such anomalies become prized collection highlights, exhibition pieces, and auction stars. The rarity and drama of errors drive market excitement. The more extreme or visually striking the anomaly, the higher the collector interest. Double strikes on Arizona quarters create ghosted images of the canyon or cactus, overlapping with inscriptions, producing surreal, captivating effects. Off-center strikes of 20% or more reveal partial inscriptions, cropped landscapes, and distorted portraits. Missing clad errors expose the red copper beneath silver nickel. Creating striking contrast, die cracks meander across the landscape, unique to each coin, telling the story of minting and machinery. Collectors examine planche preparation, metal flow, die wear, luster, and detail under magnification, understanding how minute variations distinguish ordinary coins from extraordinary errors. The coin's condition is paramount. Natural surfaces, uncleaned, untouched, preserved in slabs, maintain luster, sharpness, and market credibility. Authentication and certification by PCGS or NGC provides authority and confidence for buyers. Provenance and historical documentation enhance market appeal. Coins discovered in circulation decades later often surprise collectors with rare errors. The Arizona quarter, when off-center, double-struck, missing clad or bearing die cracks, transforms into a narrative. connecting collectors to minting processes, American history, and the thrill of discovery. Collectors study each coin meticulously, documenting misalignment, copper exposure, double images, and die cracks, combining observation with grading and provenance, creating an experience that goes beyond monetary value. Selling a rare Arizona state quarter requires strategy, patience, and market knowledge. Reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Great Collections provide competitive environments for collectors. Online platforms like eBay allow global reach but require detailed descriptions, certified grading, and clear photographs. Coin shows offer in-person evaluation and negotiation opportunities. Communicating error type, grade, and provenance is essential. Never sell to pawn shops or casual buyers who undervalue mint errors. The Arizona State Quarter exemplifies the intersection of design, historical symbolism, mechanical chance, and collector passion. The Grand Canyon and saguaro cactus, combined with minting anomalies, grading, provenance, and preservation, create a coin that is simultaneously beautiful, rare, educational, and historically meaningful. Every Arizona quarter with an anomaly represents a unique narrative, a moment in minting history captured in metal. The thrill of discovery, careful grading, preservation, and strategic sale all contribute to the coin's significance. Collectors treat this coin not as currency, but as a map, a story, a treasure, and a lifelong source of fascination. The coin connects past and present, mint and collector, error and history, imagination and observation, inspiring exploration of numismatic phenomena. Rare Arizona state quarters continue to educate, excite, and captivate, their stories intertwining with the collectors who discover them. The coin's design, mechanical anomalies, preservation, grading, provenance, and market strategies merge into a comprehensive numismatic experience, making the 2008 Arizona State Quarter a legend, a masterpiece of accidental perfection, a testament to history, chance, and enduring collector passion, a coin to seek, study, preserve, and celebrate, fully connected to the journey of the 2000 Maryland and 2005 Kansas State Quarters, inspiring awe, study, and reverence. Forever, Arizona.
The 2007 Montana State Quarter begins its journey in the vast, untamed wilderness of Big Sky Country where towering mountains, rolling plains, and sparkling rivers form a landscape that has captivated humans for centuries. This coin is more than currency. It is a miniature canvas capturing Montana's heritage, wildlife, and natural beauty. The design features the iconic mountains in the background and to grazing bison in the foreground, a tribute to the untamed spirit of the state. Yet every detail in this coin holds meaning, from the curvature of the bison's horns to the subtle striations on the mountains. The quarter weighs exactly 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.6 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.75 millimeters. Seemingly ordinary numbers until examined by collectors who understand that precision and condition define value when struck at the United States Mint. This coin passed through meticulous machinery and quality checks, yet the human hands, influence, and die variations ensure that no two coins are perfectly identical. Every Montana quarter carries slight variations in strike depth, luster, and edge, and these tiny differences can be the key to discovering a rare collectible that commands extraordinary attention. And here is where professional grading becomes critical. Companies like PCGs and NGC analyze every facet of a coin, examining the surface for scratches, hairlines, luster, strike sharpness, and even microscopic imperfections. An MS-65 or MS-66 coin could sell for thousands, while MS-67 or higher examples can reach astronomical values. This is how the Montana State Quarter, seemingly simple, can achieve a valuation of up to $9 million in the rarest, highest-grade specimens. But before we dive into value, consider the history embedded in the metal. The bison are not Merely animals, they are symbols of Montana's frontier, representing resilience, survival, and the legacy of a time when the land was harsh, unforgiving, and breathtakingly beautiful. The mountains in the background tell stories of miners, loggers, and explorers. And the plains remind collectors of the pioneers and native tribes whose lives intertwined with this environment for centuries. Holding this coin is like holding a fragment of that history. Every groove, every ridge, every reflection of light carries meaning. And the coin's luster is often the first thing a collector notices. Uncirculated examples reflect light with a brilliance that seems to capture the Montana sky itself. And here comes the thrill, because hidden within the thousands of Montana quarters minted, certain coins hold subtle errors, small variations in the die strike, misalignments, or faint doubling that make them extraordinarily rare. These anomalies, while tiny, transform the coin from a collector's item to a treasure. And identifying them requires knowledge, magnification, and patience. For example, a slightly misaligned Denver mint strike or a minute doubling on the bison's horn could increase value exponentially. And this is why collectors examine every coin under magnifiers, comparing it to official mint documentation, photographs, and grading standards. And while many coins are found in circulation, the truly valuable specimens are preserved in pristine condition, often in protective holders, stored away from light, humidity, and handling, because any blemish can reduce value dramatically. And now imagine the journey of this quarter from the mint to circulation, into a drawer forgotten for decades, only to be rediscovered by an attentive collector who recognizes its potential. The Montana State Quarter is more than a souvenir. It is an investment in history, artistry, and rarity. Yet selling such a coin is an art in itself. The right marketplace ensures maximum value. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or professional numismatic dealers provide platforms where collectors worldwide bid passionately. Certified coins, accompanied by PCGS or NGC grading, command the attention of serious buyers, whereas online sales without certification can be risky. Documentation and provenance are critical. Even small details like original packaging, mint rolls, or historical paperwork can influence price. And as we explore the coin further, consider its visual details. The mountains are rendered with subtle lines to suggest texture. The bison's muscles, fur, and stance are carefully struck to convey life and motion. Every collector who examines this coin will notice the depth and artistry. And now we add a layer of curiosity. The coin's edge carries ridges known as reading. Each ridge struck uniformly, yet minor deviations in reading are occasionally found. And these anomalies can attract specialized collectors looking for variety. Furthermore, the quarter's alloy, primarily copper with a nickel coating, provides durability. Yet the patina can develop unique hues over decades, from warm amber tones to soft silvers, and these natural variations affect desirability. Collectors often use soft cloths, gloves, and proper storage cases to maintain these characteristics. And the tactile feel of the coin is part of the experience. The weight in the hand, the subtle thickness, and the smoothness of the rim all contribute to understanding the coin's quality. And the story grows when you examine mint mark differences. Coins from Denver carry a D, Philadelphia sometimes has no mark, and subtle production differences between these mints create variations that collectors prize. Yet the ultimate value comes when a coin reaches high grades. MS-67 or MS-68 examples can remain in private collections for decades, passing from one collector to another. Each transaction adding to the provenance. The Montana State Quarter has become a symbol of both patience and insight, because the collector who studies dies, examines luster, and understands historical context is the one who recognizes its true worth. And now consider the emotional aspect. Holding a coin minted more than a decade ago, thinking about the hands it passed through, the pockets it rested in, the time it spent hidden from view, the thrill of discovery is intensified by knowing that even small imperfections could drastically alter its market value. And the market itself is a living entity, with demand driven by collectors, investors, and even casual enthusiasts, and prices fluctuate based on rarity, condition, and provenance. And in the world of rare coins, a single Montana quarter can embody lessons about history, economics, art, and human fascination, and collectors learn that the search is never-ending, because even within a single series, die varieties, mint errors, and uncirculated specimens continue to surface, sometimes in the most unlikely places, from old coin rolls to family drawers, and finding one is akin to finding a hidden treasure. The excitement, anticipation, and patience required make numismatics not just a hobby but an adventure. And here is where professional grading shines. PCGS and NGC provide security, verification, and a benchmark that buyers trust, knowing that a certified coin meets strict standards with precise descriptions of luster, strike, and imperfections. And this is critical when selling high-value coins, because buyers worldwide rely on these certifications to make informed decisions. And as we continue, it is worth noting that the Montana State Quarter's story is intertwined with the coin collecting community itself. Conventions, auctions, online forums, and clubs all celebrate these coins, share knowledge, and provide avenues for discovery, teaching new collectors the value of observation, patience, and education. And now let's delve deeper into potential errors. Collectors search for faint doubling, slight die cracks, and rare plankett anomalies. These subtle features are often invisible to the untrained eye, but can transform a coin into a premium collectible. Imagine discovering such a coin, tucked into a roll of change, holding it under a loop, feeling the thrill of rarity and history combined. And once authenticated and graded, the coin could command extraordinary sums. The Montana State Quarter is an investment not only in money but in learning, curiosity, and preservation. And as we examine further, consider how condition, luster, and strike work together. A coin may be flawless in one aspect but flawed in another, and only a trained eye can recognize the full potential, and this is where the adventure continues. Every coin has a story, every collector has a dream, and the Montana State Quarter embodies both. Its $9 million valuation in the rarest examples is a reflection of scarcity, historical significance, and collector passion. And now, as we near the conclusion of this coin's journey, remember that holding, studying, and preserving such a coin connects you with generations of collectors, mint employees, and the very history of Montana itself. Every detail from edge to rim, from luster to minor imperfections, tells a story that is priceless in experience, if not in monetary terms, and the Montana State Quarter continues to inspire collectors around the world to seek, learn, preserve, and appreciate the tiny yet profound pieces of history we call coins. So stay vigilant, continue your search, explore mint marks, study grading, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe to World Rare Coin, because the story does not end here. The journey of rare coins is endless, and the Montana State Quarter is just the beginning of the adventures that await every collector. The 2016 Theodore Roosevelt National Park Quarter begins its journey in the heart of North Dakota, where the Badlands rise in rugged layers of stone and the plains stretch endlessly beneath vast skies. This coin is not merely currency, it is a tribute to the legacy of Theodore Roosevelt and his commitment to conservation. The design captures the wild beauty of the park, featuring a striking scene of grazing bison and a powerful depiction of Roosevelt himself, evoking both the untamed wilderness and the man who sought to preserve it. As collectors hold this quarter in their hands, they are touching a moment of history. The quarter weighs 5.67 grams, measures 24.26 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, dimensions that, when combined with minting quality, affect its ultimate grade and value. The United States Mint struck these coins with precision, yet as with all coins, subtle die variations, minor striking consistencies, and differences between the Denver and Philadelphia mints can create rare collectible variations. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC examine every detail, evaluating luster, strike depth, surface condition, and minute imperfections that most people overlook. An MS-65 coin offers a solid collectible, while MS-67 and higher coins become highly sought-after treasures. This quarter's design is particularly captivating. The bison on the landscape appear almost lifelike. The rugged badlands carry textured detail, and Theodore Roosevelt's visage reflects both determination and foresight. Every collector who studies this coin notices the depth and artistry of the strike, and it is in these details that value is often hidden. The 2016 Theodore Roosevelt National Park quarter has an estimated valuation of $11 million in the rarest, highest grade specimens, yet the journey to this value is a tale of rarity, condition, and collector passion. When searching for such a coin, one must examine the surface carefully, looking for plankett anomalies, faint die cracks, doubled dies, and minute errors that transform an ordinary quarter into an extraordinary collectible. Even the slightest imperfection or unusual marking can signify scarcity, and collectors often spend hours comparing their coins against mint references, photographs, and auction results to identify potential rarities. The coin's luster plays a critical role. Uncirculated examples exhibit a brilliant sheen, reflecting light in a way that emphasizes the mountains, bison, and Roosevelt's determined expression. The edge of the coin, known as the reeded edge, is also inspected for uniformity, minor deviations in reading, subtle plankett inconsistencies, or striking anomalies are often documented and can increase a coin's value significantly. And here is where the thrill of collecting truly emerges. Holding a coin minted in 2016 yet capturing the essence of a president and a protected park inspires both emotional and monetary appreciation. The history behind the coin is equally compelling. Theodore Roosevelt's conservation efforts established national parks, forests, and monuments, preserving the beauty of the American landscape, and this quarter is a small but enduring tribute to his vision. When collectors examine the quarter under magnification, they see every ridge, contour, and texture. And these details not only inform grading, but also tell the story of the mint's craftsmanship, the artistry that goes into every strike, and the human desire to preserve history. Selling such a coin requires careful planning. Certified coins from PCGS or NGC are highly desirable, and auction houses such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers provide safe platforms for reaching serious collectors. Coins without certification carry risks, as buyers are cautious about authenticity and condition. Provenance is critical. Documenting how a coin has been preserved over time can significantly influence price, and collectors often seek coins that have remained in pristine, uncirculated condition, stored in protective holders to maintain luster and avoid blemishes. And as we examine the coin further, the design itself becomes a study in symbolism. The bison represents not just wildlife, but the wild American spirit. The layered badlands signify the passage of time, and Theodore Roosevelt's image reflects leadership, conservation, and enduring legacy. These elements together make the coin appealing to both casual collectors and serious investors. The coin's alloy, primarily copper with a nickel coating, ensures durability, yet over time, subtle toning can develop, and collectors value coins that exhibit natural, attractive coloration without signs of corrosion or cleaning. The tactile feel of the quarter is also an element of appreciation. The precise weight, thickness, and smooth rim contribute to understanding quality, and experienced collectors often describe the experience of handling a perfect coin as both emotional and thrilling. Furthermore, mint mark differences can create variations. Denver coins carry a D, while Philadelphia coins may have no mark, and these differences influence desirability among collectors seeking specific types. Yet the ultimate value comes when coins reach higher grades. MS-67 and MS-68 examples are exceedingly rare and often remain in private collections for years, passing from one passionate collector to another, each adding to the coin's provenance. Every Montana State Quarter or Theodore Roosevelt National Park Quarter has a story, yet the 2016 Roosevelt coin stands out for its symbolism, artistry, and potential for rare errors. Subtle die misalignments, faint doubling, or small plankett flaws can catapult a collector's coin to the highest echelons of value. Imagine discovering such a coin hidden in a roll of change or tucked away in a box of old collectibles. The excitement is intensified by knowing that a tiny imperfection could define rarity and worth. This is the essence of numismatics, a blend of history, artistry, observation, and anticipation, and the market for such coins is dynamic, driven by collectors, investors, and enthusiasts around the globe. The coin's valuation, up to $11 million in extreme high-grade examples, reflects scarcity, condition, demand, and historical importance. Holding this coin is an emotional experience, a connection to the past, to Roosevelt's vision, and to the collectors who have admired, preserved, and sought such pieces over the years. And as we dive deeper, professional grading reveals even more. PCGS and NGC certify coins based on rigorous standards describing surface quality, strike sharpness, luster, and minor imperfections. Certification not only ensures authenticity but also significantly impacts market value. Collectors rely on these services to verify condition and provenance. And this is essential when selling or buying high-value coins. Auction houses, specialized dealers, and online marketplaces offer opportunities to sell, yet only certified coins reliably attract serious buyers. And now imagine examining the quarter's design under magnification, noticing every subtle line, contour, and shading, the bison's muscles, the rock formations, Roosevelt's facial features, all struck with remarkable precision. And yet hidden within these details are opportunities for rare discoveries. Faint doubling on the bison's back, minor die cracks along the mountains, or small anomalies on the rim can all signify higher value. The coin's story is not only in its design but in its circulation. Many were carefully handled, others tucked away, forgotten in drawers, only to resurface decades later. The thrill of discovery remains central to collecting. The anticipation, research, and patience required mirror the adventures of Roosevelt himself in the wild North Dakota plains. Every collector learns to look beyond the obvious, to study luster, edge, strike, and toning, and to appreciate the subtle artistry. The coin's alloy ensures durability, yet careful preservation maintains its brilliance. Uncirculated coins exhibit radiant luster, often described as mesmerizing by collectors, and minute surface imperfections, or the absence thereof, determine value in auctions. A perfect coin becomes a prize for its beauty, history, and rarity. And as we continue to explore, consider the coin's emotional impact, connecting a collector to Roosevelt's ideals, the park's wild landscapes, and the American spirit. Every glance, every handling, every careful examination builds understanding. And for those seeking to sell, professional platforms provide secure ways to reach serious buyers. Documenting provenance, certification, and storage history ensures maximum return. Subtle design differences between mints, rare errors, and exceptional condition are all factors that elevate this quarter's significance. And collectors worldwide seek the thrill of owning such a coin, understanding its history, and preserving its beauty for future generations. The 2016 Theodore Roosevelt National Park Quarter exemplifies the excitement, knowledge, and dedication required in coin collecting. And this adventure, the search for perfection, rarity, and history continues with every collector who holds it, studies it, and marvels at the combination of artistry, history, and numismatic value. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe to World Rare Coin, because the journey of rare coins, The thrill of discovery and the lessons of history are endless, and this quarter is only one chapter in a story that continues to unfold, inspiring collectors to learn, explore, and preserve. The 2019 San Antonio Missions National Historical Park quarter begins its story in the heart of Texas, where centuries of history are etched into stone, where the missions stand as silent witnesses to the passage of time. This coin is more than currency, it is a tribute to the endurance, culture, and artistry of those who built and preserved these historic sites. The design captures the grandeur of the missions, highlighting their architecture, arches, and bell towers, while symbolically representing the fusion of Spanish, indigenous, and Texan heritage. When collectors hold this quarter, they are touching layers of history. The coin weighs 5.67 grams, measures 24.6 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, specifications that seem ordinary until combined with minting quality, luster, and condition. Professional grading companies such as PCGS and NGC analyze these factors meticulously, examining strike sharpness, surface imperfections, microscopic scratches, and overall eye appeal. An MS-65 coin is a respectable collectible, while MS-67 or higher can achieve extraordinary value. And in the case of this quarter, the rarest, highest grade examples have an estimated valuation of $15 million. Yet the true story of this coin lies not only in numbers but in its connection to history. The missions themselves are monuments of human endeavor, faith, and community, built centuries ago by Spanish missionaries and indigenous peoples, and preserved through wars, natural disasters, and social change. Holding this quarter is like holding a piece of that story. Every architectural detail, every line and curve is reflected in the coin's engraving. The arches, windows, and bell towers are rendered with remarkable depth, showing the skill of the mince artists and engravers. Yet subtle variations exist. Slight differences in die strikes, minor doubling, or faint plankett flaws can make a coin extraordinarily rare. And identifying these features requires patience, magnification, and knowledge. Collectors often spend hours comparing coins to official references, photographs, and prior auction results to recognize potential rarities. The quarter's luster is critical. Uncirculated examples reflect light in a way that emphasizes depth and detail, while circulation wear can dull the beauty and reduce market value. The reeded edge of the coin is another focus. Collectors examine it for uniformity, minor deviations, or die imperfections, as these small details can signify a rare variant. And the coin's alloy, copper with a nickel coating, ensures durability, yet natural toning can develop, ranging from soft amber to silvery sheen, adding uniqueness and appeal. Preserving the coin properly in protective holders and controlled conditions is essential to maintain value. And now we consider mint mark variations. Coins struck at the Denver Mint carry a D, while Philadelphia coins may have no mark, and these subtle differences influence desirability among collectors. Yet the ultimate value comes with condition and rarity. MS-67 or MS-68 examples are exceedingly rare, often remaining in private collections for decades, passing from one passionate collector to another, each transaction adding to provenance and historical record. And this is where professional grading services shine. PCGS and NGC certify coins based on strict standards, analyzing luster, strike, surface imperfections, and overall appeal. Certification not only guarantees authenticity but significantly impacts market value. Auction houses such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers provide platforms for these high-value coins, while private sales require meticulous documentation and trusted networks. Provenance, certification, and careful preservation are critical for ensuring maximum return. And as we explore the quarter further, consider the design itself. Each mission's architectural feature is captured with precision, every arch, bell tower, and window rendered in detail. Collectors notice these subtle elements and appreciate the skill required to translate monumental structures into a small, metal canvas. Yet hidden within these details are opportunities for rare errors. Faint doubling, die cracks, or plankett anomalies can elevate a coin's value dramatically. Imagine discovering such a coin in a box of old collectibles, holding it under magnification, noticing a subtle anomaly that sets it apart from thousands of others. The excitement of discovery is central to numismatics, combining observation, patience, and knowledge. The coin also tells a story of community and endurance, representing the fusion of cultures, the persistence of faith, and the preservation of heritage. These elements make it appealing not only to collectors but to historians, educators, and cultural enthusiasts. And as you handle the coin, the tactile sensation, the weight, thickness, and smooth edges all contribute to understanding quality. Even small imperfections or extraordinary qualities influence desirability. Furthermore, the coin's journey from the mint to collector hands is a story of anticipation, circulation, and rediscovery. Some coins remain tucked away, forgotten for years, only to emerge decades later into the hands of an attentive collector. The thrill of holding a rare example is enhanced by knowing its history, its design, and its rarity. And now consider the market. Collectors worldwide seek coins with exceptional condition, rare die varieties, or subtle anomalies, and the coin's valuation, $15 million for the finest examples, is a reflection of scarcity, condition, and historical significance. Professional grading ensures buyers can trust the coin's authenticity and grade, which is critical when selling or purchasing. High-value coins, auction houses, and specialized dealers provide secure platforms for these transactions, while unverified online sales carry risk. Documentation of provenance, storage, and certification ensures maximum return. And now we delve deeper into potential anomalies. Collectors search for faint doubling, minor die cracks, subtle plankett inconsistencies, or unusual strikes. Even small deviations can elevate a coin into a premium collectible. These tiny details reward the observant collector, combining numismatic expertise, patience, and attention to detail, and the emotional experience of handling this coin is profound, connecting collectors to the builders of the missions, to the artists of the mint, and to previous collectors who preserved it. Each glance and careful examination strengthens appreciation, understanding, and excitement. The coin embodies lessons in history, art, conservation, and human endeavor. It is a tangible piece of heritage, a miniature monument that tells a story more powerful than its size suggests. Yet the journey of discovery is ongoing. Every coin has nuances, and collectors who study luster, strike, mint mark, and design can uncover hidden treasures, subtle variations, and rare examples. The 2019 San Antonio Missions Quarter represents the fusion of culture, art, and history, offering insight into both the past and the meticulous craft of the mint. And collectors worldwide value this coin for its design, rarity, condition, and historical significance. Whether holding it, studying it under magnification, or preparing it for sale, the quarter provides lessons in observation, preservation, and numismatic knowledge. And as we conclude, remember the importance of professional grading, careful handling, proper storage, and informed selling. Certified examples reach their full potential value, while unverified coins carry risk. Auction houses, reputable dealers, and informed networks ensure a secure, rewarding experience. The coin's artistry, symbolism, and historical narrative inspire collectors to appreciate every detail, every contour, and every subtle nuance. The arches, bell towers, and mission walls are more than metal. They are a reflection of human endurance, cultural fusion, and the passage of time. And as you hold the coin, you become part of this story, connecting past, present, and future through the metal, the design, and the collector's passion. So continue to study, explore, preserve, and treasure every coin. Like, comment, and subscribe to World Rare Coin, because the journey of rare coins, the thrill of discovery, and the appreciation of history continue endlessly. And the 2019 San Antonio Missions National Historical Park Quarter is a shining example of why collectors dedicate their lives to uncovering, preserving, and celebrating these small yet profound treasures. This coin completes our journey for now, yet the adventure of numismatics continues, inspiring every collector to seek, learn, and preserve.